What's up, semen retention? You can't fake the internal confidence of vital sexual energy. This is not a placebo. Semen retention is not a placebo. I have different perspectives around that, right? And I understand why somebody would think that. But I can tell you from my own anecdotal, personal life experience that it's definitely something that works. But it's something that you already was born with. Let's get that straight. You already born with semen retention energy, with sexual energy. It's only when you lose that sexual energy is when you recognize, oh, I need to take care of that, and I need to, control that part of my life because your sexual energy is very important. And a lot of men who never really had any bad experiences or became addicted to watching porn or being promiscuous or masturbation, a lot of these men will never get semen retention because they never lost their sexual energy. So it's like you know what I'm saying? And I know I've made that example like why people who never even experienced it should still hear it, but I would understand. You get what I'm saying? Me being a guy that got addicted to it when I was 14 years old, I understand the importance of sexual energy, and you never know you really needed it until you lost it. You get what I'm saying? You never know you really needed it until you lost it. That's why I feel like semen retention is such a big thing because a lot of men recognize that they lost their sexual energy, and it's a confidence you had that you didn't know you had until you lost it. You get what I'm saying? And it's more than confidence. It's like your life, your ability to actually express you living. You get what I'm saying? That's the big picture I feel like of your sexual energy because it's your creative energy. It's your ability to think and joke and be yourself and have a personality and connect with people and show true emotions. You know what I'm saying? And expressing yourself. That's what semen retention, that's what sexual energy is. It's your ability to just live your life and be free and happy and purposeful. And so it's a lot of men out there who never was addicted to porn, was addicted to masturbation, was addicted to, being promiscuous and having a lot of sex. And it's not I know there's not a lot of men that go through that. It's probably very few. But I'm just trying to make sure. I'm just trying to let y'all know that it's not a placebo, but it will work better on other individuals. Semen retention is better for a guy. Like it's perfect for a guy like me who was addicted to watching the websites and stuff for years and years and years. So I'm gonna see more of a benefit than a guy who probably was addicted. You know what I'm saying, for like a year or a couple months. You know what I'm saying, or a guy who dabbled with it but was never addicted. I'm gonna see a much bigger benefit. Because I was chronically addicted to it, and so once I get away from it, I'm gonna notice a huge difference in how I carry myself and my personality, right? And so that is it, and that's the reason why I feel like a lot of guys might call it a placebo because they never really struggled with it, But it's a confidence you get with it. This deeper. It's an internal confidence, right? And so that's not a confidence you get from somebody saying, "Oh, you look good," or "Oh, you this." It's not a confidence that people can put on you. It's a confidence that really, it literally comes from your body. You get what I'm saying? And the spirit, you know. And that's why you just start to feel more alive. You start to feel more like a man, you know. And a lot of guys need to understand the importance of semen retention in their sexual energy because once you lose it, I'm telling you, once you lose it, you will really start to see the importance of semen retention. And I also think that's why I'm a big, like, I really look into, semen retention and sexual energy and stuff because I was a person that desperately needed to learn stuff about that because I was, severely struggling with you know, masturbation addiction and watching the websites and stuff. And so it was perfect for a guy like me, you know. Uh but the confidence I get from doing this, it's like I'm starting to feel like a child again. I'm starting to feel that that inner child confidence again, to where you feel free, you feel adventurous, you feel, the grass is greener, the sun is brighter, it feel good outside, you start to feel alive more. And whenever you lose that, that's when semen retention is real. Your sexual energy is actually powerful. But there's men out there that don't recognize that it's powerful because they never lost it and they never lost control of it, right? And the reason this stuff is true, because if you watch if you know who Napoleon Hill is, he wrote a book called Outwitting the Devil. And in this book was written like a while back, like long time ago, right? And so he talk about sexual energy and sexual transmutation. So this not a thing where it's a new generation thing where people just talking about it now. This is something that I feel like can save this generation of men, because nowadays we don't care about our sexual energy nowadays. We don't care about it. We care more about, what I'm saying, being degenerate, and just sleeping around with girls and girls just sleeping around. And we don't understand that it's a lot of men out here who are in such a low place in life because they worried about is pleasure and sex and just pleasing themselves sexually. But if they took that time out and said, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna focus on this part of my life instead of focusing on, you know, porn, masturbation, and sex and being promiscuous and trying to have hoes, and I focus on, what I'm saying, actually, helping people, and my purpose in life when it comes to helping people, right? Because that's how the world works. You gotta service somebody. But if they really was like, okay, what am I meant to do on this earth? What am I meant to go for? I feel like a lot of men would be much further ahead in life. But all we was focused on was masturbation and all this other stuff, and it really just ruined a man. You know what I'm saying? It really ruins a man. But yeah, man, that's all I got pretty much to say. Peace out.